This is an instructional video to give you an introduction to your paper project, as sort of a mini paper that you're going to be doing for the rest of this semester. Okay, so the purpose of the paper is to give you an introduction into how you would go about putting together a serious research paper. I'm only dealing with searching for particular words in Greek or Hebrew. So this is not going to be, for most of you, it's not going to be looking at treasury of scripture knowledge and all of that. That's super important as well, but we're only going to deal with mostly with words. A couple of exceptions to that, no problem. All right, so this PowerPoint that I'm going to show you now is going to be an introduction to the project. All right, so let me share my screen. I'm sharing my screen, and I think I'll share this screen. I think that would be the best way to do it. Okay, jump into the PowerPoint. Okay, so these are steps required for this mini paper. Okay, the project for CRST 541 focuses on verse harvesting and organizing. I'm calling it verse harvesting because we're getting verses together that's going to help us to think. Really, this is not about writing a paper as much as it is thinking about how to write the paper. Not how to write the paper, but the subject matter of it. And this is all about scripture verses. So we're trying to find verses, we're trying to save verses, we're trying to categorize verses, we're trying to organize verses, we're trying to exegete verses. We're not going to do that part in this however. Reorganize the verses, brainstorming, and I hope to spend very helpful time on brainstorming, because this is where students really can find success in writing papers on a postgraduate level. Honestly, in the brainstorming, it's where you actually figure out how to write the paper, and it can save your life. Okay, so I think we're gonna try to spend a good amount of time in brainstorming by God's grace. God is gracious, so we'll see. Organizing your brainstorming, coming up with a main research question. And I can tell you from personal experience, it is really hard to come up with a good main research question. I know this. I've been teaching postgraduate level for years and years in the US, and my students struggle there, and my Pakistani students struggle as well. And then coming up with several sub-questions. Not as difficult as the main research question. Main research question is the real one. Using your organized brainstorm to create an outline. And then writing an introduction. That's what we're going to do. That's our final part of the project. But each one of these, except for the exegeting, because the exegeting is what you've been studying, what you will be studying with Dr. Wesley or Dr. Daniel or Mr. Yasser. And when we start dealing with the brainstorming, with the exegeting, that's where you're going to do that. So I'm not going to do that in this paper. But I am going to really emphasize all the rest of this. And we will put out a paper. I will expect it to be good enough to be published as a journal article in a respectable journal. I'm serious. I'm expecting it to be that good. So you will put it out. And I believe you can do it because of the brainstorming and learning how to organize your brainstorming. I really believe it'll make a difference. Okay? Now, this is in Moodle. So I'm expecting you to go to Moodle and find it. I want you to go to Moodle and find this, okay? It's right in your page, and it says, tells you what the requirements are, it tells you what the deadlines are, and then notice it says here, click for signing up for a topic. And so what you're going to do is you're going to click there in Moodle, and it's going to bring you to the topics. This is the worst part. You have to choose for yourself a topic. Yeah, that's going to be hard. So these topics are here, see? And so look at all these topics you got to deal with. Good grief. Old Testament students deal with the Old Testament topics. New Testament students deal with the New Testament topics, plus one on fasting, because I needed to give you one more, and I just thought that was a good one to do. All right, so there you go. This you get to that, let me show you how to get to it. You click in Moodle, click here for signing up for a topic, and then you click there, you come to this, and you write your name somewhere in here, okay? Don't be foolish. Don't be foolish and take a topic you don't like or something. And make sure that you do this right away. As soon as you get this video introduction. In fact, you might just want to stop this video introduction and go into the topic now. That's up to you. Okay. Next. If you have questions about your topic, please write to me. But don't write in 23 December. Write this week. Because next week, I'm going to be traveling on Thursday and Friday. It's going to be super busy for me. So please write me before that. I think Friday's Christmas. Don't write me at Christmas. Okay, so here you go. You can see I've got a letter from John the Baptist and Apostle Paul. All right. Once you've selected your topic, please, if you can, download eSword. There's a tutorial video on how to do that. So just go to Moodle, click on the thing for the folder for instructional videos. It will tell you how to do that, okay? When you download it, if you can't download it, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. I do think if you can have a computer Bible on your computer, I think that will help you in the end. But if you can't fit it on there or whatever, no problem. Instead, go to BibleWebApp.com. And there is a tutorial video on that. So click here in Moodle to access that folder. I've already showed the folder twice. The folder looks like this. Look at these 9 videos. There will be more than 9, including the video you're watching. There will be more than 9 videos in here that will tell you exactly what to do. And whenever you have a question, what I'll do is the way I'll answer it is probably by making a tutorial video, instructional video, and I'll put it here. And so you will automatically be able to go here and find it. So you should check this folder several times, because it's very possible that there will be new tutorial instructional videos on there that might make the difference between you getting a great grade and getting a mediocre grade, or just going crazy, because it does drive you crazy. All right. Next, have a question? Please send me an email, please. Okay, so got to find the verses. Some of these topics only have one word to find, like covenant, berit, or covenant, or spirit, ruach, or mishpat, for justice. You see that. But then one of them in the Old, no, this is New Testament. One of them is just holy. It's sort of like one word, sort of. Some topics have more than one word to find, like money and wealth. Now it's going to take a little work, okay? You're going to have to work in this one. Think of every single word you can think of that's in the Bible, New Testament, that's about money and wealth and riches and greed. All right? You're going to have to find those words. That takes a little more work. What I would do, what I do all the time, is I do a Google search. And you have to do it the right way. It's money, Bible, verse list. You do that Google search, money, Bible, verse list, and you'll find lots and lots of verses where they just list the verses that talk about money. So sometimes they're really helpful. Sometimes they're not, but no, sometimes they're super helpful. Okay, so that's the topic. You have to do a little more work, but it's so interesting. And then this dik root, dikaias, dikaiasune, dikaiao, dikaios, this dik root, righteousness, right, you're going to need to do word search on the whole shmeal, on all of this, okay? Looking up all of these ones. If you have eSword, using eSword to find the Strong's number for it. It'll take a little work, but you can do it. You can figure it out. You're adults. And if you can't figure it out, write to me, and I'll help you to find it. Super easy to do. Okay, Thanksgiving and praise. You're gonna look for thank, thanks, Thanksgiving. Will probably be it. So you're gonna have to do an English search first, and then when you find these words, what the Greek words are, then you're gonna have to do a search for those. Okay, does that make sense? You're gonna be looking for the English word for Thanksgiving, for thanks, for thank. Same thing as thanks. But anyway, look for all the verses that use those words, and in the Greek, because you're looking for Greek here, and then also same thing with praise. Not too many times, somewhat, but it's there. All right, same thing here. Same thing here. You're just gonna have to use your creativity sometimes, okay? So some topics have more than one word defined. One topic is both Old and New Testament verses, and that's fasting and related words in the Old and New Testaments. Okay? Write to me if you have questions. Write to me if you have questions. Write to me if you have questions. I love it when I get emails from y'all. I love answering questions. Once you found your verses, you're going to want to put them into your Airtable base. All right? Well, what do? We click here again and again and again. I keep telling you the same thing. Oh, right here. This is how you get into Airtable. Here's instructional videos. Plenty of instructional videos about Airtable. Look at all those instructional videos. So you should have no problem finding all the information you need on how to do this. It's not as hard as it looks. It's not as hard as it looks. Follow these steps in putting together your mini paper. Here are the steps again. Finding the verses. That's where you're going to use eSword, or you're going to use Bible Web App. A couple of you may have to use Treasury of Scripture Knowledge to make sure you've got everything. Just do the best you can and write to me. Saving verses in Airtable, categorizing verses in Airtable, that's the keywords, organizing verses in Airtable, exegeting verses, we're not going to do that this project because we just don't have time. Reorganizing your verses based upon what you see, brainstorming, organizing your brainstorming, and we'll talk about that. Coming up with a main research question, coming up with several sub-questions. Use your organized brainstorm to create an outline, and then you write your introduction. So that's how you're going to put together this paper. And every week I'm expecting to see what's required for that week. And I do want to say, there's no mercy on this. No late assignments. This is your first semester. I've given you some mercy as far as getting late assignments in. No mercy on this. Why? Because this paper has to be done. There is no option on this. We can't put it off. We only have 3 weeks between the 2 semesters. That is not enough time. So you must get each assignment in when it's required, okay? That there's no kindness or give or anything like this. I know that you're so used to ये Pakistan hai, नहीं ये middle class hai. Do I say मेरा जमात है? I don't know. मुझे पता नहीं. All right. Keep looking at the instructional videos all along the way to help you with each step. That's why I made them. See, I did a lot of work for this. Over the holidays, I will try to create a paper which will serve as a model for what we are seeking. Let me show you that paper. I'm not going to show you the paper because I haven't written it. But let me just show you the idea. Okay, so here are my keywords. And here are my verses. I did all the verses for the word cosmos in the New Testament. Wow. It's a lot of verses, 151 verses. And I did this for you, although I think I'm going to profit from it in the end. But I did it for you. I wanted you to see an example of how to do this. Okay, here it is. And the instructional videos use this. So you'll see this and I'll help you with instructional videos. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to brainstorm. I'm going to do the whole thing for you. And in this topic of the world, cosmos. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the same paper I'm asking you to write. I'm going to do that over Christmas. And what I'm going to do is when I write this paper for you, you're going to say, oh, here's the model. Now I know how to do it. I'm going to do the brainstorming exactly the way you're supposed to do it. I'm just going to do it all the way through. I've done think it's the most important part. Okay, so there you go. That's where we're going with this project. The most difficult part of this project is your fear. That's your most difficult part. What you have to do is I've given you a very clear roadmap for what you've got to do in this. Just follow the roadmap. Just do it. You say, so I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. It's just, I don't know. I'm afraid. And so often students don't do it because they're afraid to start because they don't exactly understand how. Look at the tutorials. Look at the instructional videos. Okay, look at those and see if they help. And then you can go and look at mine and say, because I'm going to leave this for you, I'm going to make a copy for my own self so you don't destroy it. You're going to look at mine and you're going to see what you can see from this. It'll help you to kind of figure it out, okay? Just to get an idea for it. Okay, if you have any questions, write to me. All right. Your first deadline is the 23rd of December. Yes, you heard that. You have to get those verses saved in Airtable by then, okay? All right. So God bless you all. Go in peace, be warm, and be filled.